Hey y'all, hope everyone is well out there. I said I'd be back at you. Today is kind of like a serious day for me. I had some stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about that is very important to me, near and dear to my heart. Let's go back to the beginning. On Friday night, a person that I've known my entire life began to talk about. They just thought I saw them. Say, hello, how you doing? Da, da, da. Then they just leaned into the car and started talking about it was their birthday. And their mother had passed on their birthday. Not Friday, which this was Friday, but some years ago. And they were saying that. And I was looking at her because I always admired her for what I thought to be her strength and the ability to carry on in spite of. She leaned in and she says, I stay away because when I'm not around here, I can pretend like my mom's out of town. So I'm looking at her. And then just, it was kind of like a shock because I pretend that she's out of town. But then when I come near here, the reality of her not being there dawns on me, and it just takes me to places I thought I can't get away from. So I just looked at him, and in my soul I was thinking, Lord, give her deliverance. That was Friday. On Saturday, a phone call came from another one of my friends who they have a lot of things going on. So I assumed that things were just stuff. They were hard-headed and didn't want to deal with life and just wanted to be stubborn and do it their way and da-da-da-da-da. So that was kind of in the back of my mind. But they started to talk about when their mom passed. It had been a lot of years, but when their mom passed, and they went there reminiscing on all the days when she was alive and how they be doing stuff, and she would straighten them or say something to them, or, and we laughed for a while. Then all of a sudden, I guess they felt comfortable in the conversation we were having, and they said, but she's gone, and I don't know what to do with that. I'm telling you, it's been 20 years or so with that individual. Not the first one. The first one maybe 6, 7. So I'm listening to him on the phone and I'm thinking, oh my God, Then today. But before we get to today, let's get to what I thought of those two people. I'm like, they're strong, they got it going on, da 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 da. So I never heard these stories or this side of those stories from either of them ever. So that was kind of amazing. It was an eye opener. It's like, oh, okay. So this thing goes deeper than what you actually see. This goes deeper than people eating too much, drinking too much, or all this. There's the reasons we do not take into accountability. We first thing we say, well, the devil's busy, or they should be ashamed of themselves, or they should do better. I've even heard people say, oh, they ain't through grieving yet. How long it's gonna take, or what is it gonna take? They need to do this, or they need to do that, or people need to do this, people need to do that. And in me, I am just feeling, because I'm a feeler. So I was just feeling like, dang, been knowing these people forever, and I've never heard them go underneath and pull stuff up to the surface. And I was grateful in a sense, because that way you get to know people better. You get to know what to think of people better, pray for people better. All these things happen. You'll be able to know what to do when those things arise. But if you don't know what you're dealing with, you don't know what to do. But moving on, then Sunday comes, which is today. And I was laying there, and I really couldn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Just wasn't sleepy. I thought I wasn't sleepy. I was not sleepy. I ain't sleepy. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to do my puzzle book, read a few scriptures. I'm just up. I can't sleep until this morning when I noticed what day it was. It didn't do me last night. Thank God for that. This morning it says she died today. So 24 years ago today is when my grandmother, who we call Mama, left. I'm her oldest grandchild, so. And I was the one that she kind of let get away with a whole lot of things. I was her girl. Praise God for it. Then it hit me. That's why I was up, and that's why I've been up like that for years and years. That's why a lot of things happen. That's why a lot of people can't find a place inside my heart. I'll do anything for them, but I sometimes don't draw people close, and sometimes I say it's because of what people have done, but it's not actually. And I didn't get that until, because just like I can talk to other people, I have someone that talks to me, and the person told me some days ago, because I had a dream. A few days ago, I had a dream that I went to her house, the house we lived in all my life, and as a young woman. And I went there looking for her, and my cousin was sick in my dream, and when I said, okay, we're gonna wait right here for her to come. So my person told me, said, I noticed that you always have dreams of that house, and I noticed that all your dreams surround you waiting for her to come back. You need to look closer at that, waiting for her to come back. You always waiting for her to come back. Maybe you have not, after 20 something years, not settle your soul or settle yourself with her not being there. You're just always waiting. And this person that gave me this advice knows me from top to bottom. They always knew that. See, you always have dreams. And all of them always surround you, going back to that house, looking for her, waiting for her, trying to find her, looking. And they said it some days ago, and I'm like, well, yeah, you're right. And I kind of didn't like it because it was the truth. Kind of why I didn't like it, because it dawned, there was something that was said to me that even in therapy and all other places, even in the prophets, no one has came up with that one except for the other day when I was revealing that dream. And I was okay. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know. But this morning, it dawned on me that I have been waiting. And then I got a better understanding of the two people that had came to me. They're waiting. They have something they need to say, or something that they want to do, or it's something they're waiting for them. And as I've been thinking on it all day, that's a sad state to be in. It's a sad state to be in. You know, and some people want to know when you're not going to be in it. When will you stop? When the grief go away? There is no time limit on grief. Each person's handle that as it fits inside their life. Some people handle it, or they say they handle it, and then 18 years later they like a whole gained a lot of weight, shopaholic, alcoholic, addict, all type of stuff, recluse, all types of things happen when we shut it down. So I was thinking on the two people that came to me. One, 30 years at least, and the other maybe 7, 8. And I was thinking on them. They're both having the same situation and a lot of years span in between. So and it hit me that there is none. And today I wanted to say that there is none. Whatever you need to do to help you, to heal you, to seal you, to satisfy you, take your time. Let no one coerce you into believing that there's a set limit on grief. There's a set limit on missing people. There's a set limit on hurting the heart. There isn't. There is no set time for that. You know, people want to instruct you on how to come out of what you're feeling. Even therapists give you little ways to live in it, deal in it, work it out. Sometimes there's whole books they write on the steps. There are steps to that. To lose your parent, or for a parent to lose their child, or their husband or wife, anyone, that's not an easy thing. So there isn't anything written where that, even the Lord allow you to walk through and see what you need to see. Sometimes some things are so that we can be our brother's keeper. I know you all know what that means. Sometimes the grief, the lingering, the situations, people have used situations to write books and to discuss how they made it over. And so today my stop in is because the pain that I feel today, the grief that I feel today is overwhelming, but it's different. And all the years that I felt it, I would go sit at the cemetery and just sit there and shake my leg and tell her all this stuff that's in my heart. And if you was here, Mama, this wouldn't happen. And if you were there, Mama, that wouldn't happen. So and so did so, and Mama, not just. And that was my way. And today, because those other people came, because God is a good God and life is a great life, I found something today. I found that I need to walk more in it and walk it out. I've not walked it out. I know that today that I have not walked it out. I'm a great instructor. I'm a great counselor. I'm great at all that stuff with other people. But my stuff is there. It's lingering. And as I was instructed that you have not even attempted to let it go. And that is so very true. I've let a whole lot of things go, but I just, because I feel like, well, perhaps I got something else I need to tell you, or I need to see you, because to me, you're my backbone. There's been tons of great women in my life. Mother, aunts, godmother, all kinds of people. My mother in Christ. And they all had their part to play. But there was so far I would let any of those people in or near, because that spot belonged to my grandmother, Miss Pearlie, who we all just love. And but today, as I sat in a little corner quiet, I started to release her and not be upset and angry. Because I remember on many occasions go to the cemetery and say, why you left me? You left me. And people do this and you left. You shouldn't have left me. People wasn't doing this when you were around. So a lot of things that I did that happened to me, I blamed her for not being here to shield me and protect me from them. When she gave me all the tools I needed to do what I need, she gave me everything. I don't recall nothing that I missed as a child. Some people have stories that they had to eat the same thing or they had to wear the same thing. I didn't have that life. And she always had common sense stuff to tell me. And she never co-signed any of things that I would do that may have been not proper or right. She always had something to say about that. She left me with what all I needed, but inside of me, stubborn, I just believe that I got something else to say, and I need you to come back. Watch TV and we listen. I just need you to come back because you need to just come back. I need to tell you some stuff. And I'm so sorry for everybody who's suffering with grief and hurt and pain and the stages of it and the anger and the blame. And I am so very sorry today for you all that's suffering that. Today I got a glimpse into my own reality with that hardcore glimpse. Every year as you wait for the next year. Okay, her birthday is in a few months. I'm going to go to the cemetery, put them flowers. Oh, I need to have a conversation. Oh, this happened on this day, so I need to go and tell her and I need to do this. And I never put myself where I should put myself. And that's into living out the best life that I could live out when it comes to her, because she left me and she left a legacy to pass on, a great legacy, a decent legacy, a moral legacy, a love of God legacy, a tell it like it is legacy. And when I look in the mirror, I see her because we look like her. My mom, my aunt, me, my sister, my cousins, we look like her. That's absolutely beautiful. So I got so much to be grateful for, But I've been leaving all the grateful things on the shelf while I worry about and think about and still mourn. And supposing it's true when they say, as we hold on, we hold them in a realm where they're sad because they loved us, so they were sad. Perhaps, supposing that is true, supposing us not living our best life and doing what we should be doing and carrying out and recognizing their strength and the strength that they put inside of us and the desires that they wanted for us. A lot of them wasn't born in the days where they was able to get on here like I am. I have the ability to speak and say what they felt like saying. A lot of them was not, but they worked and fought and worked and taught and prayed and did all these things to give us the space or the time so that we can have these days at this time to say what we need to say. So I'm thinking we got to go deep inside of us and remember and honor them for all the great they did. And we are not doing due diligence to them when we just sit there and stir it and stir the death. We stir the death and we remember all things, and we do not remember when they picked us up and stopped the need from hurting. I went to the school and defended you or taught you some things that we live by today. Certain things you do when you're cooking. Why your food tastes so good? Well, my grandma did it this way. When you walk down the street, you're looking like, that's the way my grandma did it. To imitate someone and it was her. So we miss out on the pleasures of recognizing the great in them by stirring inside the grief a lot. I'm not sitting here and telling you that it'll go away, but I'm saying once we start to remember, I sat today and I started to remember all the beautiful things and the magnificent things. And as the day passed, I didn't have that knot inside my chest. That knot was not inside my chest, y'all. The death is still fresh because I played it all year long for 20-something years, about almost 25 years. Not counting the years before that when she was sick. So all of those things. So what I'm saying right now is let's honor them. We can be in grief, but I assure you with everything in me, today I began to feel the magnificent when she showed me how to crop greens in her garden, and when she showed me how to do other stuff, and you wash it this way, or mama, how did you make so and so? She wouldn't tell you how she made it. She said, well, I'll probably cook it in another couple of weeks, or whenever I do, I'll call you in here and show you. That voice came in my head today. I'll call you and I'll show you. So I thank you, mama, for everything. And all of y'all out there that's going through it, my simple advice from Rose, from Zephaniah's reply, from whatever, is that fascinate yourself on the good things. Fascinate yourself on all the positive in their plan and their plots and their whispers and their secrets and everything they left us with. If we go in there and grab some of those things, then the pain will lessen. I guarantee you. I'm not saying it's going to go away right away. I'm not saying that it'll ever go away, because we remember our first school teacher. We remember the first thing someone said that was not kind to us. It could have been 50 years ago. So I'm not saying our mind won't remember, but if we cherish some of the great things, I'm thinking that is a way we can deal with our grief and our pain and our loneliness, because this is lonely, living without someone that you trust with your whole heart, that was going to have your back, that always did, that gave you what you considered the best advice you ever had. And that's how I feel about that. And you all be blessed. And I'm so sorry for everyone who's going through this. But just take a little advice from me and just sit it in the corner one day and just close your eyes, and that individual, and if it's more than one individual, just close your eyes and reminisce and watch some of that grief just slide up out of you. And y'all be blessed. And I'll see you soon.